It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, we'll be watching the Houston Rockets playing against the Memphis Grizzlies. And for Memphis, they split the season series against these guys last season, 2 games apiece. Should be a good one tonight. Kenny, I'll tell you what.
What?
We've already seen some big matchups to start this season. It's very early.
Yes.
But in the real world, how soon do you start thinking about playoff ramifications?
Oh, you start thinking about playoffs from day one.
Oh,
the end
come
goal
on.
is always some.
But you're not thinking about
it's
where you
always
are. Hey,
somewhere in
right
your
now
mind.
we'd play these guys.
Yes,
you know.
always. I look at them in 5-game blocks. I would be like, hey, man, in these 5 games, we need to be here for the playoffs. After these 5, we need to be here. Because that's, if you don't, it could get out of control and out of your control.
I can tell just from his reaction of shaking his head that he's not buying what you're selling.
Don't listen to that jibber-jabber, Ernie. You focus on one game at a time. The rest will just take care of itself.
One game
So
at
you
a
go
time.
less than I do.
One game at a time,
I went
take care of
5-game
itself.
blocks. You went
and then if you
one
need
game
to
at a
make an
time.
adjustment, you don't wait. You just
When
make
did you
the
think about
adjustment.
playoffs, though?
When playoff time came around.
So not like early on in the season you weren't thinking playoffs
man.
like Kenny was.
Can't control the future. Only I can.
It didn't work that time. Nothing showed up in your hand.
Nothing.
It doesn't always work that way. What do you think this is, some video game? Kevin Harlan, take it away.
Greetings, everyone. 2K Sports brings you the NBA. Kevin Harlan here along with analysts Greg Anthony and Steve Smith. And we'll be hearing from DA along the sideline all game long. The Houston Rockets coming to this one after a win against the Dallas Mavericks.
I just thought the defense was porous. Got any shot they wanted, really, for most of the evening.
I'll give them credit. Even though they were facing very little resistance, they refused to play down to the level of their competition.
And David Aldridge is standing by for our pregame report. David, good evening.
Well, guys, the Memphis Grizzlies keep facing injuries and an uphill battle in the West, but they do not give up. Marc Gasol said, "It's in our nature. We can't quit. We're not going away without a fight. We're going to make you prove that you're better than us." Kevin?
Thanks, DA. Gotta love the Grizz. They certainly take pride in their grit and grind style of play. And these are both veteran teams, Steve. They've been around. A game like this is a test of wits as much as anything.
They understand what it takes to win. They understand how to will themselves into wins. They understand you can't make mistakes mentally. Veterans, they know how to pull it out. They want to keep it close, and they feel they can win at the end.
All right, ready to go? Ready to go?
So the Rockets win the tip. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So on the floor for Memphis. Down low, Wright and Gasol. Evans the 2 with Parsons at the 3. And it's Conley in at point guard. It's stolen by Capella. Parsons against Ariza. Anderson the screen. Harden outside. Over Evans. Harden, no good. On defense, the Rockets. Conley, the pass to Parsons. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. The shot's good from Paul.
The defense has to stay on Chris Paul. He has a quick trigger on the catch and shoot.
Outside Conley. Here's Gasol, then Gasol with the dunk.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Now here's Ariza. He had 13 points in the win against Dallas.
He also was very good distributing the basketball, keeping guys involved and engaged all night.
Kept alive. And it's Capella missing.
Yeah, and they're just hitting 20% of their shots. It's a rough start to this game.
Evans against Harden. Here's Gasol. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. Gasol's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Marc Gasol is battling. Even with the defender all over him, he kept his focus.
And here's Anderson from the arc. Rebound, Evans.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
That one good for 2.
He's not shy around the rim. Chandler Parsons with the length to work inside.
For Houston, they've gotten only 1 of 6 shots to drop for them to start this game. Screen by Capella. Capella sets a screen for Ariza. And it's slammed in by Ariza.
And it was the screen there, guys, that freed him up as he ran his man into it.
And then it was all acceleration, GA, to the bucket right after that.
That was just a textbook pick that allowed him room, and he took advantage of it.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And he shot 74 from the line a season ago.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Free throw drops for Ariza.
And the Memphis Grizzlies last season, second to last in scoring. Nothing new for this team. Since their Big Four came together in 2010, no team in the league has won more games while scoring just 90 points or less than Memphis.
Now here's Evans. They really needed more from him in that loss to Golden State. And the Grizzlies bottom 3 in scoring efficiency last season. Steve, how were they a playoff team?
Well, it's the little things. They're low in turnovers, they offensive rebound, and they get to the line. That's what saves them offensively.
Memphis shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
And the first one at the line is good. Tyreke Evans, the 4th pick back in 2009, won Rookie of the Year.
Averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists right off the bat. And it's been about the injuries in terms of what's held him back. If he can stay healthy, and that's a big if, the talent is obvious.
And both free throws good for Evans.
Evans is a nice player, a guy who can play multiple positions, an effective scorer.
Harden gets to Ariza. The pass to Capella. The 3 from Harden. Grizzlies with the rebound. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
Yeah, guys, they were forcing it a bit in that one and shot a relatively low percentage because of it.
But you have to give them credit for being aggressive. The problem is they played too much hero ball. You have to be willing to make the extra pass.
Man, he sure can get off the floor.
He one of the best in the business, absolutely. To the paint. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Here's Conley. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. Conley's got his first basket of the night.
Conley loves that pull-up jumper. When the defense least expects it, he sticks it to him.
Paul with the ball. Conley picks him up. There's a screen. And Anderson has it in the corner. The Rockets again can't hit. And the Grizzlies leading by 7. Outside Conley. Evans against Harden. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And there's the foul against Houston.
Love the veracity of Evans. When he's attacking the cup, he's looking for the foul.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
And last season, he made good on about 3 out of every 4 free throw attempts. And last time I checked, I think that's 75%.
First one falls for him. Nene, he's checked in for the Rockets. And so he hits both.
And one thing that is quite clear with the Rockets in terms of their approach is their shot selection. They prefer easy layups or threes. Very rarely will you see them play that in-between game.
Anderson the screen. Leaves the dishes to Paul. Nene with the screen on Conley to stop the run. No good off the back of the rim. Memphis leading by 9. Parsons for 3. Can't get it to fall, and he's missed his second after making his first. Houston's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Evans against Harden. Three-pointer. The Rockets with another miss. And that shot selection, a systematic approach by the whole Houston organization. Greg, is a team, they actually took less mid-range jump shots than DeMar DeRozan did individually last season.
Yeah, and it wasn't even close. I mean, the approach Houston has made successful the last few seasons, they are 100% committed to not taking mid-range shots if they can help it.
Now here's Evans. Nene unable to get his shot to go. Evans, good.
Gotta wrap up Evans if you want to stop him from scoring. He's too strong. Love his focus.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
Marc Gasol, beloved in Memphis. In a way, I think he's a hometown kid. Went to high school in Memphis when his older brother Powell played with the Grizzlies.
And Clark, while we have a moment, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. James Harden is second.
And looking back, his points per game really underscored the fact that he never took a game off. I mean, one special performance after another all season long.
And so it's Houston with it. 11-point game. Paul kicks to Harden. Nene, the screen. Shot to stop the drought. It doesn't go for him. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. And Marc Gasol didn't get a lot of attention playing in high school despite his last name and his 7-foot frame. And Steve, I know you like his nickname in high school, the Big Burrito.
I guess he had a big healthy appetite. The Big Burrito is cute, but guess what? As of today, he has lost all that weight. He is laughing at guys calling him the Big Burrito.
Ariza banked in off the glass. Ariza's got 5 now.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Conley kicks to Gasol. Foul on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
And their offense already in a flow, some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
And Marc Gasol last season setting a career high in scoring almost 20 points a game.
You know what? He's always had that ability. But what it is, he's so unselfish. His teammates have been encouraging him for years to look for his shot.
Free throw drops for Gasol. There are a lot of punishing players in the league, Steve, you know that, who will just hound that offensive glass. Who are your top picks for the best offensive rebounders right now in the league?
I think Andre Drummond, Dwight Howard, Kenneth Faried, some of those guys that just attack the glass. DeAndre Jordan, some of those guys are just relentless. Zach Randolph, Doesn't do it with a lot of athleticism, but he gets great position. Those guys have a knack of getting offensive rebounds.
And they can just read it well, right? A lot of guys just read these rebounds the right way. They know where that bounce is going to go, the angle of the shot and everything else.
And it's such an art to be able, like you said, to read the angle and get into position and understanding how guys miss shots. And that's an art because guys have to put in a lot of film work to do that.
Here's Conley following the basket by Chris Paul. Kicks it out to Evans. 5 to shoot. And that one falls coming off Conley's feed. Conley's got 3 assists in the game. Harden outside. Over Evans. Harden missing again.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
Parsons passes to Wright. From the baseline. Paul grabs the board. Rockets trail by 12. Here's Harden on the wing. A three-pointer is right on target. Harden's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. So timeout called here. The first for Memphis.
Well, Chris Paul signing the big contract this past offseason. And, you know, you knew he'd end up with one of the biggest deals out there. And his impact on a team goes far beyond just stats.
Houston with a big group substitution here. Mbaamute's checked in for Anderson. P.J. Tucker comes in for Trevor Ariza. Eric Gordon, he's checked in for James Harden. And Taylor subbed in for Paul. Now here's McLemore. Pass to Harrison. Knocked away. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Nene. Well, Greg, Houston wanted Chris Paul, and they got their man. One of the bigger surprises, certainly, of the offseason.
Yeah, and without Paul on this roster, this team isn't in the conversation for winning. You need him to keep your window of winning open, and he is just that impactful and makes everyone on the floor better.
Hits. Count that one from Ennis.
And when you build a big lead like this, especially early, you have to guard against the letdown.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. Do they start to coast, or do they go right for the juggler?
Now, here's Mbaaumute. And here's Gordon from outside. And Davis pulls it down. Memphis with the ball. They're on a 17-7 run. Here's Harrison. To the left wing. Here's Ennis. Second chance effort. Davis dishes to Ennis. Here's McLemore. It's rebounded by Houston. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Memphis this season.
And going back to last year, this series was an even split.
Taylor kicks it to Tucker. The dish now to Gordon. Screen by Mbaaumute. Gordon goes in.
And Eric Gordon has long been noted as a terrific shooter, but I felt like he was able to display just how great he can be last season. Had that green light whenever he was on the floor, and really near the top of the league in terms of threes attempted and made.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Two shots.
A free throw good from Eric Gordon. That one is no good. And the Grizzlies leading by 10. Out to the wing. From deep, McLemore. Rebounded by Tucker. And for Gordon, he's been a great catch-and-shoot player in the past, Greg. The difference last season was the improvement in his pull-up threes.
And there is a world of difference between shooting a three off the pass as opposed to off the dribble. The pull-up threes are what make players like Steph Curry so hard to guard. And when Gordon added that to his game, I think it helped his overall ability to score the basketball.
One shot.
And the Grizzlies enjoying the longest stretch of sustained success in franchise history. Greg, 7 consecutive seasons making the postseason.
And this group has gotten as far as the Western Conference Finals. And a lot to be said for that consistency. But, of course, everyone's in this for the rings. Interesting to see where they go from here to turn the corner into a true contender.
Smitty, you were very much the prototypical wing player during your career. When you look around the league, which current player reminds you, say, most of yourself and your style?
You know, I think a guy, he's getting a little bit older, but I think the most, a similar guy for me was Joe Johnson. Some of the guys I love watching right now, I was definitely not that long, and a guy could create that much space is Giannis because he can handle the basketball. I'm looking forward to watching Ben Simmons. I like the 6'8", 6'9" guys that can handle the basketball, but I would say Joe Johnson, and he's still going.
He's off on the first. And last year, one of the bigger surprises in the NBA, the Houston Rockets.
And remember, absent Dwight Howard, a lot of people thought maybe they're going to take a step back. And in the year where several other super teams in the league kind of took a step forward, the Rockets were able to hold their own. The team has a system that works, and they have bought into it. And top to bottom, they've been making smart decisions. And when you watch this Rockets team, you can see just how explosive they are on the offensive end. Almost everyone on the floor can hurt you from deep, and they all know their role and execute it to a T.
Now, here's Tucker. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. And the shot's good from Nene. And the Grizzlies leading by 6. We've got 1:48 left in the first quarter. Harrison passes to McLemore. Over Taylor. McLemore, no good. And last season, the Rockets' offense was incredible. Then they go and add Chris Paul.
They can run a team off the floor if they get hot. 2 great playmakers in Paul and Harden. And making a move for Paul made a lot of teams fear what the Rockets can do now on offense.
Now here's Gordon. Gordon with another miss. And now running it up the court. Martin pushing it up for 3. Offensive rebound.
Love the determination he showed there, getting himself into good position under the glass.
With the presence of mind to know just where the rebound was going to come down. Well timed. And so here is Houston following the score by Memphis. Taylor dishes to Gordon. Nene setting the pick for Gordon. Nene, the screen, off the pick, and misses it off the right side of the rim.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Here's Harrison. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And Martin now top of the key. The 3 ball. And there's Ennis on the assist from McLemore.
I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
It's early, but they have taken full control of this game, and the fans here, they know it.
Taylor kicks it to Tucker. Screen by Baamute. Here's Nene. Misses off the left iron.
And that's a surprise. He's usually deadly from mid-range.
And so it's the Memphis Grizzlies. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. We've got more in store for you right after this. And you talk to Chris Paul, and it's clear he was born to play the point guard position.
Fortunately, I've always been vertically challenged, so I've never had to play power forward or center on anybody's team. I've been passing and getting into the lane, dishing the ball off to a teammate, helping people score my entire career.
Vertically challenged, that's classic coming from Chris Paul. But, you know, seriously, Greg, he's taken that challenge and made the most of what he's got. A terrific player.
Really, and you know what? He's actually turned that challenge on his head when he goes right at much bigger players and uses their size against them.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And guys, the Grizzlies enjoying a nice lead here.
A huge fan of how they have rotated here defensively, been able to challenge multiple shots.
Yeah, it's been the defense that has them out in front. But let's see if they can sustain the intensity.
Luke Mbamute out there with P.J. Tucker. Then there's Gordon. Then it's Clint Capella. And it's Taylor in at the 1. That's the 5 for Houston right now.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
That's just two tough competitors meeting right at the rim. Someone, in my opinion, had to lose.
Drills the three-pointer. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Here's Harrison. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's McLemore. And the rebound goes to the Rockets.
Tough night for him shooting the basketball, but this team has been resilient. That's why they've held the lead. No surprise, in a battle of wheels down low, the big man comes away with it.
He dishes it to Ennis from outside the arc. That shot, no good. The Rockets go the other way with it. After this one, they're off to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. It's game 1 of a 3-game road trip. And there's the call on James Ennis. That's his first foul. And so it's Houston with it. Only giving up 2 points this quarter.
And overall, very cold from the outside throughout this first half.
Ball's knocked loose. Here's Gordon. Here's Capella. And he makes the bucket. Drew contact and gets the whistle, too.
Love the extra possessions. Defense has them stopped, but can't control the boards.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And guys, you might remember that he was not at his best from the foul line in their last outing.
And the Rockets making a change here. Paul's checked in.
One shot.
And the free throw, no good. Steve, you talk about the value of versatility in the NBA. It's never been higher than I think right now, wouldn't you say?
You're right, Kevin. The reason why is back in the day, a big guy got the rebound. A point guard or a guard would have to come back to bring the basketball up. Now, you see a guy like Anthony Davis, Al Horford, DeMarcus Cousins. They grab the rebound, and you see the shooting guard and the point guard, they getting out and sprinting because they know they have a guy that can bring it up and make the right play at his size.
That free throw good from Harrison.
And for the Grizzlies, Chandler Parsons was the biggest free agent signing in franchise history. They've got to hope his knees allow him to make a big-time impact.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Anderson comes in for Mbamute. And Trevor Ariza is subbed in for P.J. Tucker. And he makes both free throws. And the Grizzlies financially capped out from the Parsons signing. They owed their first-round pick to Portland this last summer. Their 2019 pick goes to Boston. Steve, how do they surround their stars with talent now?
great question. 7 straight playoff seasons, going for 8. The upside to compete for a title appears elusive. What they have to do is have this group catch fire and get them over the hump.
Now here's Parsons following the shot by Chris Paul, and it goes down 2 points.
This is when I like Parsons the most, when he's not settling and attacking the basket.
Timeout called the Rockets. And David Fisdale, 8 seasons in Miami as an assistant coach, including 2 seasons as assistant head coach. He's been a top coaching prospect for years.
Well, he's dreamed of becoming a head coach. What he does is he has an unbelievable work ethic. He's determined. Also, he has a great feel for the game, and he has a great relationship with his players and the city of Memphis.
Houston making a switch here. Harden's checked in. The Grizzlies also changing it up. Tyreek Evans is checked in for Ben McLemore. And Mike Conley subbed in for Harrison. Here's Paul. Offensive rebound. Lob pass to Capella. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, the Houston Rockets, one of the most explosive scoring teams in the league. Defense has been a shortcoming in the past. Coach Mike D'Antoni said, we have some good individual defenders. If the rest of them just try, well, that's the plan. Kevin?
Offense is what the Rockets are all about, DA. You know that. Coach D'Antoni definitely focuses on this part of the game more than defense. Now, Parsons. James Harden missing on the 3. Conley, the pass to Parsons. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession. And we'll examine here how the distribution has been between 3-pointers and 2-pointers tonight for Houston.
And they've got really good balance here. I mean, the 3-ball hadn't been the strongest weapon today for them, but I'd say keep the dose just about the same. Don't change the recipe. When you've got that open shot, you got to take it.
Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Harden dishes to Paul. Anderson the screen. Ariza kicks to Harden. He feeds it to Capella. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And back when Dave Yeager was the coach of the Grizzlies, Steve, he admitted they were slow and old. Is that still the case? Does this team need to get more athletic?
Yeah, I think they do. They play at a slow offensive pace. They don't get a lot of transition points. Their outside shooting has improved, but they can use more athletes.
Two shots.
He misses the free throw. Well, Steve, it's something that everyone has a different opinion on. How do you feel about the current amount of years a player has to play in college before they enter the NBA draft?
Well, Kevin, I look at it this way. I like the notion that people have been throwing around that you're able to come out of high school and go to the NBA. But if you choose to go to college, you must play 2 years. So I'm leaning toward and researching and looking at that. I think I'm on board with that because there are some guys should have the opportunity straight out of high school, and there are some guys I think need college. So I think if they can balance that out, and I think that's the way I would be leaning.
I like that perspective. Now here's Conley. Feeds it to Wright. Parsons on the wing. Here's Gasol, and the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
The Grizzlies have shot the ball well from the free throw line, 8 of 9. Nene, he's checked in for Clint Capella.
One shot, mind the lanes.
You know, the former second-round pick Marc Gasol, one of the most dominant centers we have in this game.
Rockets trail by 14. Harden kicks to Ariza. Anderson the screen. Dishes to Paul. Stolen by Conley. Evans with it. Chris Paul covering. Outside Gasol. Conley against Paul. Good D by Ariza. Houston's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. passes it to Paul. Nene, the screen. Paul kicks to Nene. Clock at 6. From deep, Harden. It's rebounded by Memphis. Gasol's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. And it's Conley penetrating. The basket good off the assist from Evans. Conley's got his second basket.
And if you're the defense, you have to do a better job against Mike Conley. You can't let him get these inside looks.
Ariza kicks to Paul. Over Conley. The shot by Paul, no good.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Conley, the pass to Parsons. Kicks it to Gasol. Down low. Conley dishes to Gasol. And it's blocked. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. Pull up Jay. And Harden with the basket on the assist by Paul. Harden's got 5 now.
Some people have vision. Chris Paul has special vision on those passes.
Conley kicks to right. There's the pick. Evans left side. Shoots the 3. Up again. And Gasol able to finish. 14 points for him.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
Yeah, and the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
You know, for the most part, their perimeter D is holding up, but they might have to sacrifice some of that to close down the lane.
You know, these are the guys you need to be aware of if you don't want your pocket picked. Here are last season's steals leaders. Third is Chris Paul.
He showed such tremendous defensive instincts. Trust me, nobody wanted him guarding them last year.
Rockets trail by 16. Harden kicks to Paul. Harden against Evans. Kicks it out to Paul. Harden left side. It's deflected.
And Parsons with the heads-up play on defense.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Back to Conley. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on Nene.
In my opinion, last season, the best of Mike Conley's career. He upped his scoring to over 20 points a game. At the same time, his most efficient offensive season.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
First free throw is good. And like a lot of the Grizzlies, Conley shooting a lot more threes.
He is. He's also gotten even better in his in-between game. Those floaters, he's even increased that. And he has great balance right now to his game.
And so Mike Conley nails both of them.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Ariza kicks to Paul. Shoots from 14, and the shot goes in. Paul's got 6 points.
The way CP3 knives through the defense and get these mid-range shots is remarkable. Just a genius player.
Conley kicks to Gasol. Evans setting the pick for Gasol. Inside. The shot's good from Evans. 10 points for him.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Harden the pass to Paul. Over Conley. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. That's now 8 points for Chris Paul.
You can put a hand in Chris Paul's face, but he's used to that. He can still nail it.
Gasol kicks to right. Parsons outside. From beyond the arc. Tips it. It's rebounded by Paul. Rockets trail by 16. Harden right side. It's rebounded by Memphis. Gasol's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Conley against Paul. Gasol a screen. Conley. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, you know, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
You have to at least get an arm up in the face of Chris Paul when he's going up from outside. He's an exceptional three-point shooter.
Paul against Conley. Gasol a screen on Paul. Conley dishes to Wright over Anderson. And it's Wright missing. Houston's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Anderson can't get it to go. And the Grizzlies leading by 13. And Parsons kicks to Wright. And the dunk by Wright.
Well, you leave a guy that open with Parsons on the floor, and you know he's going to find him.
Harden the pass to Anderson. Nene the screen. Off the screen. And Gasol sends it back. Outside Conley. His three-pointers off the mark.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Got that one up quick. And it's 8 points for James Harden.
Yeah, there's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes now in the D.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. Hey, Steve, if you wanted examples of just how incredible the guards in the NBA are now, all you have to do is watch Chris Paul play and realize he wasn't even on an all-NBA team last season. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you look at the numbers he put up, and I think you have to say it's about all the rest of the guards in the league. They're unbelievable. Chris Paul had a fantastic year, and he was healthy. Crazy to think a player of his caliber didn't make an all-NBA team.
And it's the Grizzlies with the ball. James Harden getting it to go from deep. Ennis dishes to Davis. That shot off. The Rockets go the other way with it. Tucker with the ball. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Nene left side. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
Look at the intensity of Nene, one of the strongest guys in the game. Phenomenal at scoring the ball inside.
Harrison kicks to Davis. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Here's McLemore. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
This is his 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
And his percentage at the line last season, right at the 75% mark.
One shot. One shot.
That free throw good for McLemore. There's 1:40 left in the first half. Outside, Taylor. Pass to Gordon. Nene setting the pick for Gordon. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Harrison. Outside, Davis. Here's Martin. And that one hits back iron.
And this is a guy that can get you stops. Aggressive on the defensive end.
Also doing a good job of tracking the ball, contesting the mid-range jumper as well.
Now, here's Tucker. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. No good on the shot. And the Grizzlies leading by 13. Harrison passes to Ennis. Shoots over Tucker. Hits. Count that one from Ennis. Ennis has got 7 points in the game.
That's outstanding decision-making there to change his shot and find an open teammate for an easy basket.
Here's the screen. Nene, the screen. Here's Gordon. Another miss by Houston. One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent passing.
No doubt about it. It's fun to watch the way they're operating as a team right now. They are all in sync.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Now, here's Mbamute. Over Ennis. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. And so it's the Memphis Grizzlies holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. We've got more in store for you right after this.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It was Marc Gasol setting the pace in the first quarter. He had 14 points and 1 block. Kenny, what'd you think about the Grizzlies?
Well, we can't look past the huge contribution their bench has provided. They've got this lead mainly because of the injection of energy and offense that they got from their reserves. That's what a coach wants to see. I'm guessing the minutes will be spread out a little bit in the second half.
Shaq, how'd you think the Rockets were playing?
That was very undisciplined half of basketball they just played. You can see it in all the points they gave up at the free throw line. Listen, I don't mind the aggressive attitude, but they took it too far with all the silly, crazy fouls.
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
Welcome back to the Toyota Center, everyone. That's a look at our broadcast location tonight here in downtown Houston, Texas. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more. And the Grizzlies leading by 18. Taking a look at the Grizzlies. Evans the 2 with Parsons at the 3. Down low, Wright and Gasol. And it's Conley in at the point. Gasol against Mbamute. Conley's shot is off. And for Houston, they're shooting the ball poorly, just 28%. Shot's good from Mbamute. Mbamute has got it going here in the start of the second half. The first points in the third quarter for the Rockets. Evans outside. Gasol, a screen on Harden. Parsons dishes to Wright. Got it. Good job in the low post. Wright's got his second bucket of the night. Rockets trail by 18. Second half just getting started. About a minute played. Harden kicks to Mbamute. It's Ariza on the wing. Covered by Parsons. 5 to shoot. Here's Harden. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Memphis leading by 18. And Parsons kicks to Wright. Right side, Conley. Over Paul. Here's Wright. And Wright throws it down hard.
This is where Wright generates a lot of his offense, working the glass with that 7'4" wingspan.
And guys, they look to set it up in the half court.
Well, that's when you got to rely more on your defense and try to get out in the open floor. Oftentimes, you can develop your rhythm offensively when you get easy baskets.
Over in the corner, Mbamute. Off target from three-point range. The Grizzlies have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Kicks it out to Evans. Off target from outside. Rockets trail by 20. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Shot's good from Mbamute. Mbamute has got 4 this quarter.
A terrific offensive rebounder. Here he is doing it again.
Evans kicks to Gasol. Back to Evans. And the rejection by Harden. And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here. Clint Capella, he's checked in for the Rockets. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Evans' shot is good.
Tyreek is good at playing bigger than his size. A great finisher, close to the cup.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
And watching James Harden, the amount of shots he is able to create for himself and his teammates, he just does so much from his position that is unrivaled. One of the greatest offensive threats, not only today, but really of the last decade.
And for Harden, he's been in the conversation, Greg, for MVP for several years. The way he's able to just carry an offense with his creativity garners attention.
And Kevin, I think he might have won it last year if it wasn't for the amazing season put in by Russell Westbrook. Don't count Harden out, though. He's such a unique talent on offense. Maybe this will be his year to bring home that MVP award.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul.
I mean, clearly not on the same page right there. You hate to give away possessions.
And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Evans outside. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Tyreek is an aggressive player. Does a great job forcing the issue close to the rim.
He's had 4 chances at the line, made them all.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Houston making a switch. Nene's checked in. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Houston's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Nene, the screen, and play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
That's his 4th foul of the evening. He needs to be careful now. Pick and choose where to be aggressive.
And the Grizzlies leading by 22. Conley kicks to Gasol. Evans setting the pick for Gasol. Back to Conley. Trying to break that ice-cold streak, and the shot is good. Conley's got 8.
Smooth off the fingertips. Mike Conley floating it in beautifully.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, David Fizdale was one of the most respected assistant coaches in the league before he took over in Memphis last season. He spent 8 seasons in Miami, where LeBron James played for him. LeBron said he has every quality that would fit a head coach. He's confident in his ability, a great learner, a great communicator. So it was great to see him get the nod, and he's proven so far why he's capable of the job. Kevin?
And an endorsement from LeBron is never a bad thing, D.A. Thanks so much. Here's Parsons, and the Grizzlies tack on 2 more.
Parsons has no problem pulling up from the mid-range.
For Houston, they've gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Gasol against Nene. Back to Harden. Kicks it out to Paul. Houston moving the ball around. Harden outside. Paul outside. Really left alone that time. 13 points in the game.
It's been their Achilles heel defensively. They just have not been able to control that backboard.
Conley, the pass to Gasol. That shot, no good. Some solid defense there by Nene. Ariza goes in. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. And that's now 7 points for Ariza.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Wright sets a screen. Parsons against Ariza. Conley kicks to Evans. Out to the right wing. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Gasol. Paul grabs the board. Paul's got his 3rd rebound tonight. There's the feed to Harden. Back to Paul. Parsons with some nice D.
Woo, that's the one when you watch the film back, he's going to cringe. He couldn't ask for a better opportunity.
Back to Wright. Over Ariza. The Grizzlies with another miss. Rockets trail by 20. Paul with the ball. Conley picks him up. Paul dishes to Harden. Parsons against Ariza. Anderson the screen. And he overshot that one, missing. And the Grizzlies leading by 20. Conley the pass to Gasol. From deep, Evans. In it goes for the 5th time and 10 shots for him this game.
I mean, you got to admire how great a scorer Evans can be at times. Love seeing him catch fire, torching the defense.
Anderson the screen. Here's Ariza. Ariza with another miss. Grizzlies have gone at a pretty good shooting pace. They're 6 of 13 from the field here in the 3rd. Conley kicks to Gasol. Conley against Paul. Wright dishes to Parsons. Back to Gasol. Over Nene. Gasol, no good. For Houston, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field since the 3rd quarter got underway. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
And how about the career progression of Trevor Ariza? You know, he came into this league somewhat as an energy player who, you know, obviously could attack the rim. Now he's one of those guys who's primarily a 3-and-D component.
First free throw is good. For Ariza, his first few years in the NBA, over half his shots came within a few feet of the rim. Greg, now over 2/3 of his shots are from beyond the arc.
And that's just how it goes for some players in the NBA. Ariza still, he has some bursts to finish at the rim, but has turned himself into a deep threat, and he's always been a presence with his defense as well.
Chris Paul is one of those players I love because he competes, has a high basketball IQ, and he can knock down big shots.
Harrison kicks to Ennis. Martin from outside. It's good. The assist that time from Ennis. Martin's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Screen by Capella. He kicks it to Paul. And the pass to Tucker. Eric Gordon on the wing, guarded by McLemore. Nice job coming off that screen.
Crafty move. He recognizes the size disadvantage, and the mid-range is close enough.
Right. No reason to take it all the way to the rack. Instead, take what the defense allows.
Here's Harrison, defended by Paul. Outside for Martin. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Screen by Capella. Gordon kicks to Taylor. To the paint, Capella. Great positioning on the putback.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Here's Harrison. Davis with a screen on Paul. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. And it's Houston on the break. Here's Capella. It gets rebounded by Ennis. And the Grizzlies leading by 23. Pass to Harrison. Martin the screen. Harrison passes to Ennis. It's rebounded by Houston. Paul's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Outside, Taylor. Al Paul, 15 points in the game. Lob pass to Capella. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Ennis dishes to Martin. Passes it to Harrison. Fires it up. It's rebounded by Houston.
Not sure of the thought process on that one. Really bad shot selection.
Well, you're playing for the team, not just yourself. They needed much better execution that trip down the floor.
1:43 left here in the 3rd quarter. There's the dish to Ennis. Shot clock at 6. Here's Davis, and he banks in the layup.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half, sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Paul kicks to Taylor. We've got 1:13 left in the 3rd. Outside Gordon. Back to Taylor. And Tucker has it in the corner. And the 3 off target.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Here's Martin, and finished off by Martin.
Oh, Kevin, not a petty, not a Manny, but a facial.
Oh, a bounce to the ounce, Greg? Yeah, showing off the bunnies. And here is Taylor. He has 6. Screen by Capella. The drive by Gordon. Second shot opportunity. And Capella with the layup. Capella's got 7 points in the game.
Soft interior defense. You know he's going to be aggressive.
Harrison passes to Davis. Now here is Martin. Defense right on him. Here's Harrison. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Two shots.
That one is off. And the Rockets making a change here. And the second free throw, good. There's 14 seconds left in the 3rd. Screen by Capella. Taylor with the ball. He dishes it to Tucker. From deep. Misses the shot. And so it's Memphis, finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. And against one of the toughest offensive players in the league, they've been doing a great job shutting down James Harden. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. Welcome back. 4th quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. And for Houston, they're shooting only 32% from the field. Plenty of signs of struggle by this offense today. We've got Mbaumute. Taylor is out there with Gordon. Then it's P.J. Tucker. And it's Capella in at the 5. That's the 5 for Houston right now. It's deflected. Ennis dishes to McLemore. Off target from three-point range.
Coming down the stretch here, holding the lead. You like him to be more efficient offensively.
And the basket by Gordon.
Not sure who designed that play, but he makes it count.
And the Grizzlies leading by 22. And McLemore kicks to Harrison. He feeds it to McLemore. Stolen by Gordon. Count the basket. Gordon's got 4 points this quarter. And that replay presented by Under Armour, showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another unleash chaos moment. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Here's Harrison. Feeds to McLemore. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
You can see there the defender allows himself to get picked.
You know, it's all about effort. Sometimes you're going to get hit on hard screens. You just have to fight through them.
Taylor passes to Tucker. And Smitty, they say players are made in the summer, the off season, when they can really work on things on their game. Especially these days, players will hire top-level trainers and coaches for individual work during the off season.
You know, Kevin, I love it. The guys are putting in those emphasis on their bodies with trainers and coaches. But I know sometimes I've heard stories where the teams want you to work on this, maybe say your mid-range games, but then guys have these coaches are just working on their threes. So I think guys got to be careful just hiring anybody. You want to work on your game, but I think also it has to be a balance with the team wants and what you want.
Steve, I've heard that too, and I think teams they like the work in the offseason, but it's got to be directed the right way.
Yes.
And if you're a part of a team in a long-term project, I think you've got to take the direction and follow the compass that your team has given you.
Yeah, I think so, and I think a lot of times teams are getting upset because now you're seeing these individual coaches and trainers starting to come on NBA time, work out on NBA time, and I think that's when it started to become somewhat of a problem.
Both free throws good from Tucker. And the story with P.J. Tucker is an interesting one. Was drafted back in 2006, played a year in the NBA, then hopped between a ton of different leagues in Europe before coming back to the NBA, Steve, in 2012.
Well, his journey has been definitely a long one, but Tucker learned a lot about what it takes to find success going overseas. He's been a player who does all the little things for a team since his return.
Gordon kicks to Capella. That one bounces around and comes back out. And the Grizzlies leading by 20. Pass to Harrison. Some nice passing there by Memphis. 11 feet out and he hits it. 10 points for Ben McLemore. Rockets have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Taylor. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
And you have to appreciate the aggression. Nice work inside.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. Well, Steve, with the rise of NBA message boards and increased coverage from beat writers, NBA players have plenty of opportunity to read up on opinions of what people are saying about that player. Is this something that is impossible to avoid? And do some players read fan opinions about themselves? Are they reading these critiques?
Yeah, I think they are. Some players read in too much. Fans have a voice, but you don't have to read the good or the bad. But going back to the beat writers, I think a lot of times a beat writer is one of those guys that you see every day, and you're looking to challenge him when he writes something bad, and also you want to pat him on the back when he writes something good. But I think you got to look at the beat writer and understand he's doing his job. You got to kind of separate that. But a lot of times when there's a beat writer interact with a player, a lot of times it's bad, especially if the beat writer has written something negative toward the player. I wish they can separate those guys, and also the players can separate the beat writers from fans.
And Baamute's checked in for Clint Capella.
2 shots.
First free throw is good.
And Mike Conley Jr., you talk about being bred for success. Remember, his dad was a gold medalist in the triple jump. And you can just see that athleticism in his game. Super quick and elusive out on the floor.
Both good from the line that time. And with Conley's athleticism and his handle, tough to keep him out of the lane.
And if you go under on that pick, he can hurt you from deep. This guy really the complete package, arguably the most underrated point guard in our league.
That's outstanding decision-making there to change his shot and find an open teammate for an easy basket.
Outside Gasol. Parsons on the wing. There's the triple. And another miss by Memphis. Rockets trail by 20. Here's Harden. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Conley kicks to Wright. Gasol a screen. Wright dishes to Gasol. From deep, Evans. Well, something you never like to see, but guys, he definitely looks hurt.
And I feel like we see this all too often. Injuries, they play such a big part of the game.
Well, the explosive moments, the quick change of direction, a lot of stress put on the body.
McLemore's checked in for Memphis. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. And finished off by Gasol.
He has slimmed down a lot from his rookie season. Marc Gasol still strong enough to power through contact.
And with the new TV deals, we've seen players' salaries and caps certainly skyrocketing. What does that do in affecting relationships among the players, between the players, within a team?
I think, Kevin, when guys are happy, obviously with their salaries, they play better. But I think also it can affect sometimes, let's talk about it team-wise. You have a guy that's not playing at the level that you thought he would be playing. Because of the numbers, it's going to be harder and harder to move some of those guys. Then you have a guy that's playing better than a guy that's making a lot of money. He's going to expect, and some of these teams are not going to be able to play, so you're going to see a lot of movement. And back in our day, Kevin, my day, you didn't see that much movement. Because of these skyrocketing salaries, I think now it's going to be more and more movement.
And Steve, with the new deal signed between players and the league, it'll be, I think, easier for teams that have drafted and developed a player now to keep that player and not lose them to more money to another team.
You're totally right. I think guys getting drafted and they can play, they will definitely be there for years and years because they can make the most money with their teams respectively.
And they definitely have the edge in those fast break points.
They can't be afraid of keep pushing the basketball in transition because in a half-court set, they're struggling a little bit.
Right, the pass to Parsons. Just 5 to shoot. And Wright kicks to Parsons. With nobody on him, he buries the jumper. And the Grizzlies lead by 21.
And that's how Parsons makes his living. Great shooter off the catch.
Screen by Baamute. It's deflected. And Harden with the stuff.
He just powered that one down.
One of the game's top dunkers. And it's time for an injury report. We get a chance now to check up on Tyreke Evans' status. David?
Thanks, Kevin. I just talked with the Grizzlies' head athletic trainer, and the news is pretty good. It does not look like a severe injury. A really discouraging development for this team at such an early point in the season. We'll see how they respond, Kevin.
Well, thank you, David. Hopefully, we'll see him very soon. Rockets trail by 21. Harden kicks to Gordon. Conley against Harden. Back to Conley. And the new CBA hammered out Smitty last season between the league and the players. It really seemed to get done. Adam Silver, a terrific job. Chris Paul leading the players' side. They got together early and seemed to be much more cordial in their negotiations. I think that's a wonderful sign.
I think the game is in good hands right now, and I was happy from, like you said, from the league side and the players' union side. You said it best, Kevin. They got together early, and that's why I think it was seamless. And the game right now is going so well, and they didn't mess it up, and I'm happy about it.
And you know what? I'll even go on. I'll take it one step further. I don't know if there's a professional league in the world right now that is in better shape in almost every aspect than the NBA. What do you think?
I totally agree, Kevin. Right now, we have a magical time right now in the NBA. Things are running well on the court and off the court.
Paul's checked in for Gordon. And so Mike Conley nails both of them.
Mike Conley is an effective two-way player. He's masterful at running the offense for you, and he is a big-time defender at that point guard position.
Anderson wide open. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 4 assists now tonight.
A good screen made all the difference. It led to an open look.
Conley kicks to right. Parsons outside. And another make to his scoring column. His 5th basket of the game. Now shooting 5 of 11.
I love how he's been more patient in this second half, shooting only the shots he feels he can make.
And Mba'amute dishes to Paul. Over Conley. And the Rockets getting another bucket right there.
And when Chris Paul gets going from the field, you just have to let him go to work. He can get any shot he wants out there.
Conley kicks to Gasol. In the corner, Parsons with it. And stolen by Ariza. To the wing right side. Over McLemore. Here's Harden. Goes back up. An easy 2 points on the layup. Harden's got 8 points here in this quarter. And the Grizzlies leading by 18. Outside Conley. Gasol on the high post. Back to Conley. At the elbow, it's Gasol. Just 5 on the clock. And finished off by Gasol.
When you let him get in close, Marc Gasol at 7'1" can definitely hurt you on the offensive glass.
Houston's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Screen by Mba'amute. Paul kicks to Mba'amute. Dishes to Harden. Makes it off the glass.
I'll tell you, he is scorching the nets this quarter. Maybe that'll help wake up some of his teammates.
Harden against Conley. Left side Gasol. Back to Conley. That one, no good. Good D by Harden. Rockets trail by 18. Ariza goes in. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 5 assists in the game.
And this is the value of letting the play develop. You find the weakness in the defense.
McLemore, the pass to right. Now here's McLemore, defended by Paul.
Well, what did Coach tell us? He wanted each guy to contest shots and rebound tonight. That's exactly what we just saw.
Pulls up. And there's a whistle that goes on Luke Mba'amute. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Houston. And Memphis also making a switch. Andrew Harrison's checked in for McLemore. Memphis leading by 16. Outside Conley. Parsons outside. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
Harden inside the three-point line, and the shot falls short this time. Memphis has gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Harden against Conley. Parsons outside. Wright dishes to Parsons. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Conley's shot is off. Rockets trail by 18. From deep, Harden hits the three-point bomb. Harden's got 21.
And with Harden, it's pick your poison. Not only a tenacious penetrator, but also a consistent threat from three-point.
There's a good screen. Conley kicks to Gasol. And that one falls coming off Conley's feed. 21 points for Marc Gasol.
Now, tell you what, his accuracy has been the story of this game.
And to do it in the fourth quarter, you're trying to extend the lead. He's making that happen.
And Tucker kicks to Anderson. Over Gasol. Anderson's shot is off. And the Grizzlies leading by 17. Parsons on the wing. The baseline J. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Ariza's got 6 rebounds in the game. Paul. The putback. That shot is off. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. Gasol, a screen on Paul. Harrison kicks to Conley. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Grizzlies.
A beautiful pass doesn't always get you on the highlight reels, but there were some spectacular dishes in this game.
You know what? It was a team that was in sync and just trusted one another to take the right shots.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Marc Gasol.
He was really important under the basket, making the plays down low and getting position to pull in rebounds.
Ariza no luck. There's 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Conley, the pass to Parsons. Kicks to right. Tries a 3. They get it back.
And not doing his team any favors jacking up three-pointers. He needs to realize that right away.
Paul dishes to Tucker. It's Ariza on the wing. Houston moving the ball around. That's a 2 from Paul. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
Whether it's scoring, passing, or just acting as a decoy, his value to this team cannot be understated.
Now here is Conley. So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Chandler, you guys really passed the ball well tonight, and that seemed to feed energy at both ends.
Yeah, just playing selfish. And as you can see, we're having so much fun when we play that way. When everyone's getting involved, everybody's touching it. It's just a much better team offense when we play like that, and it's successful for us.
It was successful tonight, Chandler. Thanks for your time. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.